Islam Tribe, it's your boy Noble. I'm here with Chicago Moors, and we back in the lab, we in the cave, and we going over our self-law and master, Islam. So, what comes to mind when you look at that? What's your circle 7 got for that?
Well, I don't know. Really, it kind of like reminds me of, you know how they always tell you there ain't no I in team.
Right.
You know what I mean? But you do need to focus on the I though, right? Because this means if you say I self-law and master, you just basically saying that everything that you got, you're doing it on your own. You're looking inside yourself. I, self, inside myself, am governing and mastering it. That's why I'm living it and doing it. Right?
So basically saying that, meaning saying you the master is kind of like saying you not the slave at the same time.
How are you gonna be a slave if there's no other party present? You said I self-law and master.
Mm-hmm.
You the only child in this thing. We're a slave. There is no slave.
Because we don't supposed to delude to slave names and slave principles. But it's some people saying Islam, I self-law and master, and they still deluding to some slave principles.
But they don't have room in that. I doesn't have room in that.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Right? It's where the room. What we talking about? It's not there. Islam is about you yourself. Because you can only control you.
Right.
If somebody gave you something to do, then hopefully you felt it was so important that you had to put it in the I and move with it. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Not they sent you off, now you doing what they said because you felt some type of emotional way.
Mm-hmm.
So that mean you run off emotions? This wouldn't be an emotional thing if you was in law.
Right.
Because law has no emotion.
Facts.
Emotions
Now, I ain't gonna say all emotion is wrong. I'm gonna say when it's not balanced off. Now, and when we in the realm of law, it's really no place for emotion. That's like out of jurisdiction.
Mm-hmm.
So, I definitely feel you on that one. Now,
But here's the thing. There's nothing in the terminology I put up there that said it was wrong.
no, I ain't saying that.
We just said it was misused.
Right.
So that means that instead of fueling yourself by releasing the emotion, because you releasing the energy, you need to take that energy and apply it better to you. So if that meant that instead of letting these motherfuckers just violate me after they violate me, I'm just going to go ahead and look to see what I need to do or what I can do to take it to the next step. I'm just going to take a little bit more time and try to think outside the box to see if I can find some other type of equation or some other type of alternate reality or thing to come out of here than what I was expecting or than what I thought was going to happen.
Right.
That's thinking outside the box. That's what half the people actually come to their butt line pedigree, because they thinking that, now all of a sudden if I jump and use this, I can jump into this and get my real remedy that I'm looking for, when this requires you to know yourself prior to demonstration.
I like how you broke that down. Now, it's the reason why I was saying about balance when it comes to Islam. Because when I think about Islam, I be focused on the law and the master part. I be focused on that part. Basically saying, like I was mentioning earlier, that by me saying I'm the law and I'm the master, I'm saying I'm not nobody else's slaves. I'm not under nobody else's law. It's my law. I'm the master. This is my world. You know what I'm saying? It's my body. This is my life. So I'm looking at it balanced both. I ain't just saying this to the European and the Caucasian. I'm not they slave, and I'm not the Moor slave neither, because to me it seems like Moors, whether they know it or not, indirectly, maybe sometimes, but they want you to be the slave. And it ain't all of them, it's some of them. But they don't want to read the document, they want you to tell them everything. Now we know man knows not by being told. But they want to say, because, like, what is you doing with your time? With my time, I'm studying and doing what I need to do. With your time, you might be partying. So basically, time is life. That's how I'm looking at it. So basically, I'm using my life to do the work, using your life to party, and then putting the onus on me to be competent for you. So now I got to do the work, and then since you didn't do the work, I got to waste my time on the phone with you, giving you the cheat code to the test, because you didn't study. So now that's extra time out of my life, that's extra life that I'm losing because you wanted to party or whatever you wanted to do. You didn't want to study. This is why I look at it with balance. I'm not nobody's slave. Now, when it comes to nationality, I'm going to help you all day. I'm going to give you the references, and I'm going to expect you to go read, and then by the type of questions you ask, I'm going to know if you read or not. If you ask the same shit, I know you ain't reading nothing. You just looking for somebody to tell you with firmness and convince you. You want to be convinced. You know what I'm saying? I don't do that. Like that's why the law right there. We don't got to convince. We ain't got to persuade. It's law. It's either is or it ain't. It's law specific. Ain't nothing to argue about. So that's how I'm looking at the Islam. I'm looking at the Islam like I'm reserved, like what we say, I reserve all rights at all points in time. That ain't just with the European. That means you ain't finna violate me neither. A workman is worthy of his hire, right?
Well, no, here's the thing. Man, I'm just, sorry for the interjection.
No.
I'm just like, everything you just described was the absolute polar opposite of a master. So how you gonna say you Islam, but you not willing to do the work? Because if you a master, that means you have done everything you need to be able to call yourself a master, because you've done all of it by your own hands. You did it. Now I'm master. You don't become a master because you had all these people. You still thinking like I self-law am slave master on a plantation, that whatever the hell this is supposed to be, when we actually talking about you so proud that you can govern yourself and you've mastered yourself. Yourself. You've mastered everything inside and outside of you. That's what you said.
Now they still not wrong for saying Islam, because they can mean minor. Maybe they saying our self-law and minor.
No, well, so what you just said, would work if these periods weren't here.
Right.
Right? Yeah. That works. Now that bullshit you just said works. Right? Would stop. Ancient creed. Right? We put period in between each one.
Right.
Y'all know the terms. It's on the back of the bill. It's on the back of your dollar bill. You know what the hell we talking about. It didn't say minor.
Right.
It didn't say midget.
Right.
Right? You see midgets with Islam shirts on? I mean, Islam, if they out there, I ain't tripping. I'm just saying, that's not, we're not fucking, you can't change that. I said, law, I'm a mechanic.
Right.
Okay? Really? No. We know what we're talking about right here. That's all I'm saying.
But how's you that? But that go back to what you said. How's you saying you a master? Because master meaning basically you a major, meaning you competent in law. But you steady talking about what's name didn't answer my call when I was in trouble. Cause I ain't know what to do. I really was a minor. But I'm saying Islam. So that's how I'm looking at it. Like, it ain't nothing wrong with people asking questions, needing extra help or whatever. I'm saying the movement is already staggered. The prophet already said take finance to build this nation. So the people that's actually doing the work is getting penalized because they not only doing the work and taking the time out to read and study and be, you know what I'm saying, check everything, but now they got to go do their slavery and then fund the work because other Moors, they want to just be like a beneficiary but claim Islam. They want to know nationality, learn about the birthright, and then hold you accountable instead of the de facto. I call them, know what I'm saying, Clark Kent Superman Moors. Because all day, you the straw man. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't nobody know you the straw man. And then as soon as you come home, it's Super Moor. With all the codes, no, you supposed to do it like this. I'm like, what? Show me some proof you ever enforced. Because you're supposed to have some proof. Moors is active, not passive. Show me anything. Show me you filed any type of paperwork. Show me you sent something to 7 locations. Anything. Like basic stuff. Because everybody got an opinion. So, I'm going to stop right there with the Islam. Because this can go we can bring this back up and go a whole nother way with the Islam.
You know what? Fuck it. Go ahead.
What?
Bring another one.
On Islam?
Absolutely.
Our self-law master. I'm going to go a different way with it. And my thoughts is my thoughts. Everybody don't agree with me and it's known as whatever. But I'm going to go a different way with it. Our self-law master. We come from this black paradigm bullshit. We got enough time with
yeah, like 12.
Okay, we come from the black paradigm garbage. No offense if you still identifying like that. That's for your person, which is your corporation. It's not really you. Go look up the census.gov race and see the definitions. Black is for a corporation, a person. We come from that paradigm, and now we in more science. So we saying our self-law master. So if we the master, then master, the word for master is malik in Arabic. That definition, go look it up in the Arabic dictionary. It's basically gonna say owner, sovereign, master who does with basically with his property as he likes. We saying we the malik. What is our slave? What is your property? What is your slave, master? Since we the master. Now, everybody is so noble. Like, we ain't in this de facto system. You know, because they're trying to talk to me about what I'm talking about. Because I'm talking about making a boat to survive this commerce, this Noah's Ark flood that's coming. You know, y'all see everything that's going on in the news. So they're talking about me. But I'm saying, where's your slave at? Where's your boat? Where's your property? You know, what is your status? Master, like what is your law? Like it's saying divine one or what? Proclaim your what? Free national what? Name and religion.
Name that.
What's your law? What's your name in your religion? What's your law? You know what I'm saying? You saying you're a master? What's your title, master? What's your name in your religion? You know what I'm saying? And I'm saying my slave is the straw man. And I'm doing processes right now. We was called Vanguard. We don't look for leadership. We read, understand, and apply. We see garbage, it can't get through us. If we see it, we calling it out. So now I got, you know, Grand Sheik over here and Grand Sheik over there, all in my DMs trying to explain this garbage to me, but can't give me a straight answer. And I ain't gonna tangent off into that, but I'm just gonna keep that aside mention, because that might come back up later. So it's really, like with me, it's really our self-law master. You not finna know what I'm saying? Like if you knew my background, you'll understand. But I ain't really finna be taking too many losses. Like I done took enough losses for a few people. So I be like reserving all rights. And you know, it's supreme incompetence out here. So I be having to check and correct, you know what I'm saying? And I be wondering why I come off as, you know, I stick out. When they say this what we supposed to be, this what the Vanguard's supposed to do. It's supposed to be hard to get stuff through the ranks of the Vanguards. They supposed to be all active. They supposed to be all independent, fearless. According to Caveat Emptor, right? He say he know the ones who interested. They the ones who vanguard as the hordes increased. So and then he got prophecies about the third and fourth generations gonna get it. That's us, you know. We the ones. So that's how I'm looking at Islam. Moors is different ways you can be active. If you need help, like it's different ways to help the nation. You got the ones like us that's doing the work. If you can't do this, or I'm saying fund people like us, send some donations. Help the nation, fund it. Like if you need and we gonna help you regardless. Like we giving out all type of information for free. You can go and look at all these videos. We didn't give you all type of stuff that other people like looking and we forcing the envelope. Now they all of a sudden talking about it. That they was charging for it, and now they see we just talking about it. Now they all of a sudden trying to race to come out with the information, which I don't care. Come out with it. Just tell it right. Because when I see that this is wrong and I know it better, I'm going to show the correct way. So that's all I got for the Islam. What we got left?
I think that we just need to touch on this one more time a little bit more about self. If we say Islam, our self-law and master,
Right.
for you to get to the master the part, you had to hit self. You went from I, right? So you figured out who you were. Then this S, if it is not I-L-A-M, I-Lam, it's not I, law, and master, because you got to get to yourself first before you get to the law.
Right.
You got to fix yourself. So that means you got to be the one to see it. You got to use your eyes to see what the hell is going on and read and study the law, so then you can be the master. That's why the period's here, right? It's I. You recognize who you are, then you learn yourself. You have to stop. Then you got to learn yourself. Stop. Now you know who you are. You know how you need to operate. You know you need to learn law. You know you need to study, right? So you went and started studying the law, right? Then you start studying the law. You see how it applies. So then, therefore, you know that you are absorbing all of this.
Fruition.
Powering it all together, putting it all together, adding it up to come to your total sum master.
Yep.
And you stop right there. You don't say flip over, converse, whatever. It don't say nothing like that. You're still at the period. You the master.
Self is the balance, because self is the higher and the lower. So that remind me, when you talk about self, that remind me in the Circle 7 when it's talking about when Jesus went to the secret brotherhood in chapter 13 to go get the knot, when he go get the knowledge of the men, and they was like, why you come here? Right. You got the knowledge of the wisdom of the gods. Why won't you the wisdom of the halls of men? So he wanted that lower self to make it come to get the balance. You know what I'm saying? So that's like consciousness. Okay, damn. Okay, we conscious now. Right. Now balance. Okay, now we got balance. Now we can know how to learn to love instead of hate. Now let's get some law. Let's get competent. You know what I'm saying? Okay, now it's fruition and, like you said, final completion. Yep. Master.
Just that simple.
Yep.
Just that simple. Guess what you don't see here, right? You don't see nothing else. You don't see ism. That's not there. Because it's not about ism. Has nothing to do with ism whatsoever. Nothing to do with ism, period. Nothing. Nothing. This is about your bloodline pedigree. Period.
Now look, when you saying this, listen like how we broke it down. When you saying this, listen to how you saying it. It's like when you saying that and still acting like, you know what I'm saying, the orphan. When you still acting like the minority, but you saying Islam, it's like, you know what I'm saying? How can I put this? It's like it's like Cardi B wondering why people treat her, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? They don't value her as a woman, you know, with principle wise. Saying I should be able to dress how I want, and y'all should still look at me as, it's like those don't really go together. You can't really, you know what I'm saying, talk about, you know, what you talk about and still get that type of respect you want from,
right,
you know, Michelle Obama.
Right.
You know, it don't really go together.
Well, they ain't gonna let you parade your lower self around and then all of a sudden think that you've arrived.
You know.
That's what it is.
So it's just not a good look.
Okay. Incompetence. You know, there's a lot that goes with this word when you think about incompetence. The end part we have to kind of separate this right now, right? And the only reason why is because before we even started talking about the what you ain't, what you don't have, what you lacking, was not possible. We need to make sure it's people have a clear understanding of competence. Now, competence requires comprehension, right? Because that's all part of it. Comprehension is required. Okay. There's no way in the world you can have competence without comprehension. So comprehension, even when we look at it, I know we all kind of took comprehension and we thought that it was it was simple because, you know, when you was in school you had reading and comprehension.
Yeah.
But comprehension is super important because, you know, especially when you talk about English, because English is equivocal. So, you know, that's where we come up with this garbage talking about a certain word means one thing, but it may not necessarily, you know, it depends on what you're saying is what changes the meaning of a word. Right. So like, you know, we try to take a mix and say that this word could mean several different things when we look at etymology, you got that root. That's what it means. Now, all the other stuff, extensions you want to put on there or whatever, you can, but that's what that word means.
That's what it means definitively. Cognitive linguistics, that's all the color.
That's everything else that where they're trying to mix you into agreeing to a term, and now that we introduce this term to you, you agree to it, and now we're going to proceed on this term, which that's not necessarily, you can't change a word.
No, not
right.
Not when it really matters. When in a court of law, it's going to go towards the real meaning.
So let's think about this though. When we talk about reading and comprehension, you would think it would be just so simple to say that because I read, I comprehend, but the reason why you have to say reading and comprehension is because you have to be able to read and then determine if it's ought or not. Then you got to be able to determine what they meant by not when it's not. But you know what ought is, so why you keep playing with that? They need to know in your mind if you could determine that what you read, you comprehend it for what it really is. So this is a star. We know it's a star because that's what we made. But then if I told you, well, we don't want to make it like a real star. This was a fucking star, right? Ain't the same fucking thing. It's not the same thing. But you have to comprehend what type of star it is.
Right. Off a symbol.
Right.
Facts. Now, when I look at incompetence, first thing I'm thinking is minority. I'm thinking of legal style, I'm thinking minority. I'm thinking adult with the mental capacity of a minor. Basically, you don't have the right to form your own contracts. You know what I'm saying? You don't have the choice to make your own contracts. That's what I look at when I look at in competence. I look at what we was just talking about. People knowing from being told. People saying I self-law mastering and blaming somebody else for a process that they did without caveat emptor. Like this, and I know I'm a low degree, but some of the stuff like regular Moorish literature be basic. I post it on Facebook and people be like, "Where you get that from?" I'd be like, "Damn, you ain't got that? You ain't got the Moorish literature? Like you ain't never stopped by a temple just to get the literature to see what was, or downloaded some of the stuff on Red Circle 7? It's on the internet." Like one of my homies came and wouldn't leave until I gave him my Circle 7. Like, man, I'll buy it from you, but I need this, man. You buy the temples, like, cause he from Southern Illinois. But that's what I'm thinking about when I'm thinking of incompetence. People doing processes, losing the house, all this, got the whole family in jeopardy, and then gotta rush to read the information after you done did the feel good story.
Okay. So look though, this is my whole thing. When we're talking about this situation right here, we're talking about competence, right? That's the reason why I was like, forget N right now. We're talking about competence.
Okay.
Okay. But no, it's good. The way you brought it, Islam. I'm just trying to think about the scale, right? So we just figured out what it took for us to be, incompetence, competence, whatever it is. Remember, you got to kind of balance the scales. Ultimately, you don't want it to be balanced. You need a big, heavy part. Your competence need to be bringing the scale all the way down here. Your incompetence need to be up here, like it can't even handle it. Right? Because you got to have some weight on this. But how do you get? So even when we talk about how you lost the house, this, that, and the third, you didn't do this, that, because you didn't take the time to gain comprehension. It's required. So, like, if you studying, law, you're in a legal proceeding, because clearly if you're losing your house, it's some fucking law involved in there somewhere, right? So if you in the middle of this, the first thing that people want to do, instead of actually picking up a book to find out what's going on, is they go call an attorney, somebody to tell them what to do, because they think that, if they talk to this person right here, they're going to know everything. But at the end of the day, man knows not by being told. How would you know if the person that you called wasn't setting you up for the okie doke?
You ain't gonna know.
Yeah, you don't have no idea. You just basically got out shopping for snake oil.
If you knew that, you wouldn't need it. Yeah. Right,
because you have no idea, so you just call somebody because you seen their little ad on the TV, right? Looking like some moot telling you about this here, talking about you can get some money on TV, right? Or on the radio, whatever.
But this is why I was saying with the I self-law master, comprehension is required. But they looking at it like, that don't mean I gotta have it. Azil got it. I can call him and get the answer.
Let's go back to the last word. This is what you said. That's what you said.
You're right.
That's what you said on the last slide.
Yeah.
You feel me? So now that we already brought this into play, did you forget about that part? Okay, so this is what we said at first.
That's why I brought that up. I'm telling you what that ain't finna stop these calls from coming. You think you finna stop getting calls because I just said that in the last one?
No, I'm just saying. I just know this is just a reminder.
No, I'm saying they finna call you like, Isaiah, I don't know. The house is up. I ain't been paying the mortgage. What do I do? That's how ain't that them calls you been getting? A book.
Okay, there we go. And then in the back, I was just trying to see if anybody got me. We're playing Jeopardy on this bitch. I want to see if everybody's looking. Because how would you know if you haven't done this? Then you know what the famous reply is? I don't have this. You know what I'm finna put? Hell yeah, I don't have time.
That's why I said.
Wait, what made you think I do?
That's the slave part. That's why I said That's why I said.
No, this is not slave. It's not our slave and master.
That's what they is to them. That's what they want you to be, the slave.
Okay, so let's do this part here.
Or they wanted to say we self-law and master. They want you to know what I'm saying.
No.
These are our problems now.
No.
You need to be on my case.
No.
Don't help her. She didn't pick up the phone for me.
Check the demo. No. Check the demo. I'm gonna tell you this right here. A, if it was all that and it was Weed's Law and we was doing all this shit together, guess what? We wouldn't be in shape today. We wouldn't even be making this video. We'd be somewhere sitting off, you know what I mean,
right.
drinking with a fucking a drink in our hand or whatever, laughing or whatever in the sunset. No, we not. We standing here on a fucking Sunday, taking up some more of our time.
Right.
To tell you that you got to be goddamn competent and motherfucking comprehension is required. It's not something that you can sit here and get from being told. If we sit there and even tell you that man knows not by being told, then why aren't you hitting the books?
How can you be the law and the master without comprehending and being competent? Like how?
Hold it. That's what the attorneys do. That's what they want. They want attorneys. They want attorneys, but they want Moorish attorneys because they feel like Moorish attorneys.
Because we free. Because we can't charge them. They say we free. You know what I'm saying? Y'all can't charge me. Y'all take my case. Y'all tell me all the answers because I ain't finna study. I'm not reading none of this.
Yeah.
LeBron and them about to come on.
Yeah. No. Here's my favorite question. Doing my favorite thing. Right? They'll ask you for something. Ask you for your time. Then they'll ask you for something else. Like, oh, yeah. Can you do XYZ for me?
Right.
Right? That's taking up your time, period. They don't have time. Then when you do it for them, then they want you to break it down point by point like it's a goddamn affidavit.
Nah.
Wait. Because it's not like, when I say act like an affidavit, I'm not saying that that's okay. But you want to debate me about something that you have no goddamn knowledge of.
Right.
So you want me to point by point break this down to you while you debate like we in court, which takes even more of my time. So we went from here.
And for nothing, because you ain't even read the damn document.
And you still don't know.
Right.
And then so you confused, you'll wait till you get down here. Right? Then you make your last question this one. Look, I'm not stuck in a loop with you.
They want to be convinced.
If you had to hit this book right here, look, I told you to hit the book when I told you the first time. When we was up here, I told you, get your books. You're going to need your books. You're going to have to break that book down.
You know how we know you ain't reading the document? Because you asking the same damn question. We done said the same answer like 50,000 times. You done heard something from somebody else. Now they done spent you back around and sent you back to us. And now we got to look at you like you crazy. Like,
yeah.
You know what? You know what I'm saying? Maybe I need to be doing something else with some of this time. Because obviously, you know, people want to play ping pong with Moorish literature. They want to be the ball. They want to bounce back and forth.
Gotta take you back to the TV. And YouTube. You know, like the Breakfast Club. These are Breakfast Club Moors. You know, they want to talk about it. They want to have a whole panel of people that don't mean shit. All here talking about some, in my opinion, and no, but my opinion, they did that. We got a donkey of the day.
Dunk contest Moors. They got to get 5 opinions.
Yeah.
Oh, he put up an 8. He put up a 9.
Yeah,
he put up a 5. I got to ask
somebody got
else.
to argue the stats. This is what happened last year, and so you got all this goddamn knowledge, no nationality. So we're gonna have a whole bunch of 3/5 conversation. You talking about you Islam, you operating like 3/5 like a motherfucker. You ain't even trying to hit the books.
See, this another one we can always bring up: competence, incompetence with either one. Because now I'm seeing all these census posts. Moors, temples talking about they got to collect the numbers for their census. You know what I'm saying? These are slave ships they turning in. They getting a whole slave ship turning in. Bam. All y'all got nationality cards talking about USA citizens. While we got a whole treaty with these people. With the Christians and the Moors. The Christians and the Muslims. So how all of a sudden you got a Christian name now? Your legal name is one Christian name and one surname. And they wonder why I'm changing the name. They talking about you messing around in commerce. I'm like, man, you know what? I see it. You ain't read nothing. You know, my grand sheet, they want to stand on the grand sheet like it's a foundation. Like, that ain't nothing. You still don't know. Man knows not by being told. Can't get around that. I heard this. I heard that. See, that's why you don't know nothing. You steady talking about what you heard. Like, the documents ain't available to you. Like, I don't mind somebody asking question point by point if I know they reading and they really trying to find the answer.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
I'm gonna feel you.
That's a breath of fresh air.
Yeah, but if you just asking the same question and I know because you ain't read nothing, you don't even know the basics. Like, what is you even here for? Mm-hmm. That's what I'm looking like. You don't even know the basics. Why you here? What you doing? What, this reality TV or something? This entertainment? You ain't had nothing to do, huh? Mm-hmm. How every time we, you know what I'm saying, we meeting up, you ain't got nothing to say more. You don't know nothing about nothing.
Right.
Like, I be wondering, like, but competence. We can do that so many different times.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, let's bring back the end part. My bad.
Hey, bring it back.
That mean you ain't got none of this shit. That mean you everything we just talked about. That's why end was easy. It's easy. Just take this part out. Let's get to the we're breaking a little bit closer to what we talking about. Okay? Take that down and take me competent. So the only way you can get competence is from what? Reading. You gotta bust that book. Because you gotta see it. And then the thing is, it's okay. This really isn't like a negative in something, because, you know, it's not like it's, I don't know, full-blown AIDS.
No, it's a stage, right? The book.
You know what? You didn't even start small, right? Maybe get some little literature or whatever.
See, this the part. I'm glad you got this book up here, because what we always say, man knows not by being told, right? So, and not only that, what's the other one I'm thinking of? The half has not been told.
Yep.
So what that mean? The half is not. Somebody was trying to tell me what they thought it meant. The half has not been told. Why has the half not been told?
Because the other half in the goddamn book. But of course it's because if I told you to rest, you fall asleep. I get that part. So I'm going to tell you half and the other half in the book. How about that? It's not some secret genie that's finna call you off Facebook and tell you, goddamn, I got the other half.
Half off on the other half.
Half off on the other half. Give me a PayPal.
Right, half off on the other half. Cash out now.
Yeah. Call me now for your free reading. Moors. We're talking about the book right now. It's that simple. You gotta get your ass in the book. Don't call asking for the other half, because the other half has not been told, because it can't be told, because you gotta read it, because that's the only way you're gonna be able to comprehend it.
Facts.
Which that's how you cure incompetence.
Because what? Circle 7 is what? 5 senses plus what? Insight and intuition. Mm-hmm. So that's why the half ain't been told, because once you read it, the other half finna come from your circle 7. You finna get into it. You finna get that feminine principle now. Mm-hmm. You finna be feeling the truth. Mm-hmm. You finna know it and you gonna feel it.
Guess what? Let's take it this way. Take it to the other stuff, right? So let's just say, you got your first part. Somebody told you.
Right.
You got the second part. You ain't got the book.
Yep.
Right? If you clean, right, and you doing right, you acting accordingly, you get that third part. That's that insight and intuition, talking about your third eye. It's all working together. You got the pyramid, you standing. Mm-hmm.
Facts.
That's where you can go and tell me, my spirit told me, my energy, I had a up, because they ain't gonna have it without having all this.
See, and people like, I know what he talking about, because I can recount my life and just look from when I was young and didn't really know much, how I used to be scared of, like how grown people scared of the police now when I was a kid, and now how I react with them, and I look down at them like, you know what I'm saying, I look down at them like how Caucasians look at them now. Like, I'm offended that you offended, you know what I'm saying? You know, like how? That's how I look at it. Like y'all some servants. You know, even though I ain't gotta treat them like that. I done already been through all that. I ain't gotta do all that. But yeah. And then, you know, them the 3 points of manifesting anyway. The thought, the talk, and you know what I'm saying, do it. You have a thought, then you'll see somebody talking about their plan, man, I'm finna do this, I'm finna do this. They talking themselves up, putting pressure on themselves.
Yeah.
And then they gonna do it. They gonna make it happen.
Yeah.
3 stages of manifesting.
Yeah. Tell you what, funny part about it is, if you just make sure you complete it with 3, you're gonna definitely learn it because, like, you've already been told. Now your second part is, you're gonna see it in writing. Then when you study it, you get that pencil and write it out. Right? Now you got all 3. You got a 3 there. Right. That's how you remember. That's how you bring things back together. Because now you got 3 different ways.
And you putting your will into it. You writing it out.
Writing it out.
You know what I'm saying?
Etching it out. Etching it into your brain.
Yeah, I like that one. And kind of like I said, we can always come, but you see that one lay it back to Islam.
Yeah.
You got all type of 3/5 up here.
Yeah. They go all different types of ways. I'm gonna stop this thing here so we're fresh. Go ahead.
Okay, now we looking at minority. We can go a lot of different ways with this word. Minority in Black's Law Dictionary, 4th edition, I believe is something to the effect that an adult with the mind state of a minor. Basically somebody who is retarded. Somebody who cannot contract, incompetent. Minority is somebody who is playing the color game and don't even know that they playing this color game per se, like one of these people who think they black. And they think that minority mean that they the lesser in number, not knowing that that's a legal term, which meaning that is dealing with the masculine principle. You know, provable stuff. It's not the feminine principle. It's not intuition. It's not what you can feel. We dealing with the masculine principle. This is legal. This stuff that's fixed law. So these people going around saying they're the minority, not knowing that it means that they are a minor in the head with a dope body. Minority is voting for this de facto. When minority is denying the facts when somebody putting all these documents in your face. But you still saying that's your belief and I just got my belief. So you got an automatic built-in minor status. That's your mind frame. Your stat, you are properly placed. See, you got to be a major to competent. To do the affairs of men, you got to be a major. You got to be of the majority, of the age of majority. That's legally competent to perform in contract. Otherwise, you're going to be the beneficiary and you're going to have a trustee or a master, you know, depending on the degree of how he treats you. It does not pay to be in minority status. A lot of Moors are in minority status. They done filed the paperwork, so they done went from that minority status, the beneficiary of the de facto, to the beneficiary of some trustee. Whether they went to a temple or whoever they up under. So it's a lot of different ways we can go with minority. I probably can think of a whole bunch of more stuff. What you think?
Well, so whenever I think about minority, it really kind of goes back to this goes a lot of ways for me. Because when they talk about minority and this is the thing. When we talk about we Moors, we talking about we Moors on this whole plane. I know this looks crazy, y'all, because y'all used to seeing it like this. You know, with the Africa, whatever, you know,
right.
The planet is here. No, when we talk about this Earth plane, Turtle Island, whatever you want to call it. Everything is all underneath this dome, this flat plane, where it was once Asian, right? They expect you to know all this, but I'm just trying to make it simple. But I'm kind of saying all this because I want some people to kind of think about and research some of the things that we're talking about, so that it'll kind of give you a catapult, like a fast forward to the information that we're giving you. Because this presentment right here is going to give you it shows you basically how some things that we're just looking at as being simple, now is a good time for us to analyze that and figure out which way is the best way for us to go. So when we speak about minority, when we talk about all the different type of dictionaries and things they have, we're really talking about the legal definition. Okay, so we're talking about the legal definition of minority. So that's not that's not going to be what the common perception of minority is. A lot of times what people are thinking is, oh, minority, I'm thinking of like minority against the majority, right? But so the main problem with that is, that's not what we're talking about. There's no scale here. When you're going around telling everybody you're a minority, and you're looking at a political stance, from a political stance saying that we're the minority and not the majority, or whatever the case may be, as if it's on a scale. No, when you're talking political, you're still talking about legal.
Right.
Right? So that's where we go to the law dictionary to figure out what they mean by minority. That's where you get you're too young to contract. Right? Even though, when we talk about like the Christian codes, they got contracts for minors too. Right? It'd be like schooling and food, if it was needed, but if you got plenty of it, then they don't have to have it. Like, it's a trick to that too. But the whole point is, we're sitting up here thinking about, because we're just little guys, you remember the scale we talked about last time, right, with your Democrats and Republicans or whatever, the D and R, and it's tilted back and forth on this little fake scale. What we're talking about is this is all where they have everybody that agrees to be in a minority, that now they have to be able to ask you, especially if you're their quote-unquote property, no matter how you feel about it. It is what it is. That's what they say you are, because you're in that 60 QV trust. So you're considering yourself to be a minor. You can't contract, so now they have adopted you. And we'll just say that for lack of a better term. They adopted you, and then now they want child support. Right? And so guess where they get that from? Especially, if you black, African American, Negro, colored, all that good stuff. They're going to get the child support out of your estate. With fees.
Facts.
That's where that goes. And by you saying you're the minority, you just said this is yes.
Yep.
I agree.
You just said I can't.
You did the green check mark. It's okay.
I can't manage my estate. I'm a minority.
I don't know what to do. Right.
Give me a job.
Yeah. Well, they don't have no job for you, but they find ways to give it to you. Snap. Section 8. Right? What else?
Shit, county care.
There you go. County care for the disease that they got patents on, but we're going to talk about that later. We're not going there right now. And like I say, we'll make our little favorite little thing here. I really don't care how thick the book is.
It's supposed to be books and pages.
Don't be afraid of it. Okay? And wait.
Okay.
Yeah. You got that. Look, I'm gonna do you a solid. I'm gonna put a light up here.
Oh, you?
Because I don't even want you to do it in the dark.
Okay.
We bring you to the light.
You getting this LeVar Burton on. Read the book.
Right, we talking about the book light. We bring you to the light over top the goddamn book. Let's start there, and then you'll be enlightened. How about that? Right? Like, we're just gonna bring that little part in. Like, I ain't trying to be rude. I'm just saying that I want us to kind of challenge ourselves a little bit in our thought processes and how we think and view and see things. Because if you kind of start breaking things down to the lowest common denominator, it's going to make it a lot easier for you to proceed and navigate through these waters. Okay? Because there's a lot of soothsayers selling snake oil around here, and it might taste good, but it's not going to do you any good. You got to get in here. And if you ain't competent, and that's when you ask questions. But here's the thing: you're not asking questions outside of you. You're going to then go get a dictionary or a book where you can look it up and figure out what it is that. Right? That's how you get your competence. It's real simple. But you can't skip past this. When you agreeing to be in this, you agreeing to be so much. And the crazy part about it is that there's no debate in this. And so the funny part about it is, you know, all of these opinions that everybody has, right? And this is the funny part. Everybody got an opinion. And they got an attitude or thoughts about foreigners. Right? I hope I ain't messed that up. Okay, here's the trick. They know more than you about you. Know more about you than you do. Because they know who you are. If you're African American, black, you know all that stuff they put in the back. Because we got like, how many names? It's like so many names. If you really think about the bloodline of how many names we got, we'd be here counting for like, I don't know how long. So that should actually let you know when you like rotate goddamn names for your people, either black, more, black, African American, all this other bullshit. When you flip all these names about who you are, that's a topic for another time, because that's gonna take too long. Basically, I'm sorry, I have to redact all that just for that, but we'll talk about that later. They know that you're Moors. As a matter of fact, a lot of times when I come over here is they know that they're going to be able to get benefits off of living off you, because you've chosen to be a minority. So since you decided to sit down, they've come over here to stand in your place.
Yep.
And that's the most diplomatic way I can say that. Because it has absolutely nothing to do with that. What it actually has to do is, especially if you're black, Negro, colored, etc., you know, the whole pinwheel, then what ends up happening is you're putting yourself in a position where these people are eating off you, living off your virtues. Now, I know you've heard that statement before. So that's probably like a hint when you get ready to get in the book to which ones to go to, because it's going to be in there telling you about all of that. The whole point is that you can't get past anything as a minority, because you just said you was a child back when your mama was telling you what to do and clean up your room because you was nasty and you wasn't thinking about it. That's the problem. When you keep saying that you want to be under that you did not walk outside the nest, when your mama pushed you out the nest a long time ago, so you're not part of the minority, but you have to tell them that.
But look, the trick is this. Minority is like a status. It's like a responsibility. It's like it's a properly placed. A person will be a minority because they irresponsible, meaning they not reading the book, which means they not finding out that they need to take responsibility and say, I am the majority. F whatever happened, I'm gonna make, you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna find a solution anyway as the majority. I'm gonna be able to contract my way into a better situation.
Yeah, but see, I'm gonna just say the one thing, when we talk about minority being a status, like minority to me is being a status on hold. Like you on pause, you at the gate. Like you ready to break, but you can't break because you still standing on the wrong platform.
Right.
Right? You haven't actually stepped out and said, okay, I'm getting out the house, I'm gonna shut the door, and I'm standing over here as a grown man and doing whatever the fuck it is I'm gonna do.
And the doorway is deaf. The doorway is not unconsciousness. You don't even know. To be a minority, You don't know nothing for nothing. Because you would have been doing steps, even your mind frame would have changed to majority status. Before the process is even done, we would have seen the change. For you to even be able to think you the minority, you playing the color game. You think you black, or you think you know what I'm saying, this or that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but here's the trick. If you really look at the whole thing, even what we're saying, right? It's like, that's how they got you on anthropomorphic stuff, okay? And it started with Jesus and Santa Claus and all this other mess, and the bunny rabbit, shitting chicken eggs and all of that. You know, they get you with all of that because that is gonna keep you tied to the minority, right? So it's like, when you're looking at cartoons and you're a child and you just watching what they're doing or whatever, but you know that's not you.
Right.
Right? You're just looking at it as entertainment or whatever, because, you know, it's like whatever. You may like them, you may whatever. You knew you wasn't going to go kick it with Fred Flintstone. Yeah. You ain't had no pterodactyl egg.
You watching wrestling.
Yeah.
It's finally the black one. He always lose.
Yeah.
He had one little good moment, trick you think he finna win. He always lose.
Watching you hanging on the edge of your seat.
You mad as hell.
Yeah. Wait, no, then you going out buying the ticket like I'm going when they come in town. I want to see he finna win this time. He just need my support. Yeah, no. You just lost some money. Had nothing to do with shit. Okay? That's why I'm like, I don't even have time for this bullshit. So anyway, like that's just my little piece on minority, because is if you're not looking at it in a legal perspective, then you kind of in the wrong thing. So you kind of have to take stuff. You can't just take stuff for face value, and you can't let them play you by this connotative linguistics where you're not even going looking at the roots of the words, because the roots of the word don't change. That's why you have to make sure that you know what you're looking for, what you're looking at. You have to know what these terms mean. This is the way that you gain competence. From the last slide. You see what I'm saying?
But just peep this though, right? Like, our people call ourselves the minority, right? And minority mean adult with a child mind. And
in normal terms, right.
And then our people, who do we champion? Like, as far as political, do they not love Hillary Clinton, Bill Clinton? You know what I'm saying? These type of people, and then we can go Joe Biden.
Look. Let's be real. This is so funny. Okay, so I know that you actually thinking that when these people are doing, they're not researching these damn people.
Exactly.
They're actually just looking at the presentment, and whoever got the best presentment and some clean ass products is getting in. Okay, and so at the end of the day, they don't even understand that they was already bought. Like, they had their own auction before you. Right? They just giving you a motherfucking picture or a projection to make you feel like you were fucking a part of it. And you really ain't. Okay? As a matter of fact, these motherfuckers doing this whole game on top of your own shit. That's the reason why we tell you get in the books so you can be competent enough, right? So then you can go and you worthy to be in those seats because you have a proper status if you correct your status. How about that? I'm just, I'm not trying to be something about it. I'm not trying to kind of say, but I'm just saying, if you stood up to be the majority, who told you that you weren't good enough to be able to be studied enough in the books to go get those seats with the proper status? Who told you that? Why would you do that? That don't make sense to me. It does not make sense to me. I'm sorry. You sitting over here in a fucking shape, living from check to check. You fucking children got to go to these dilapidated ass goddamn schools that ain't teaching them shit, making them fucking dumb as hell, and you question them because you don't even understand the shit they brought you when it's your motherfucking job to teach your children. How about that? You let your enemy teach your children. And when I say enemy, I don't mean to be like rude, like, oh my God, I hate you so much that you should hate them, this, that, and the third. No, I mean your enemy because they're actually trying to steal your goddamn airship.
It is what it is. Shit,
right.
You got a treaty with them for a reason.
That's what, and so they warned against the treaty, but you don't know that because you're too busy stuck in the goddamn Constitution that was made for them and not made for, and it wasn't part of you because you are bound by the Zodiac Constitution. Period. Because you were more, whether you knew it or not, because ignorance of the law is no fucking excuse. So, guess what? Why don't you go ahead and take a look at what we're talking about before you get charged? Don't make sense to me. I'm just saying though.
That's why I say I think it's like that minority is like a mind state. That's why I say it's a mind state, because it's basically from not getting in that book. Because once you get in there and see it for yourself, it's different from having somebody tell you and you learn it yourself. Mm-hmm. So minority status, just think about people who classify like that. Do they go off facts or is it belief? Is it more like, you know what I'm saying, group thought? Whether it be the church or what?
You already know the answer to that.
I'm just saying.
No, I'm just saying how blatantly obvious.
It's more feminine principle.
Hold on.
Thinking with it. It's more feeling.
Let's break this down like a 2-year-old.
Okay, break it down.
I can't. I just want to. Okay, so you gonna present that question one more time. Just a short
Which
question. The one. Start with the first one.
I said a lot of stuff.
You sure did, and all of it still. When I make this presentment, I'm just gonna start out with it. I'm sure you already be able to see where I'm coming from. You just talked about minority, right? So you talk about everybody that does this. Oh wait, no, hold on. I actually draw better than that. My bad. I think you know where I'm going with this. You talking about these people. Because I'm not going to spend a whole bunch of time on this bullshit. I'm sure you know what that is. You know what that is?
Nope. What is it?
So you really want me to? I have to. How the fuck would I draw?
Hey, just tell us what it is, man.
Goddamn chicken egg. That's what the fuck it is. It's Easter. Your fucking Easter egg. That's exactly what the fuck that is. It's an Easter fucking egg. So same people. Okay. Oh, and I ain't gonna forget about these people. I'm just putting this on the list because
you gonna make me know
not
what
like
it is.
I'm saying.
You know what that is.
Anything that you goddamn right, you know what it is. Okay.
What's that?
Oh yeah, I'm just putting this on because this is like a commercial holiday that everybody gets food for or whatever. Because you should be fucking taking care of your consort to the best of your ability every day, all day, instead of thinking one fucking day that I'm gonna do something, whatever. So whatever. I'm just throwing all this bullshit in here. Okay. Right. So you living in this other world that is totally outside yourself. Okay. Okay, bunny rabbits don't shit like this.
Right.
When they lay eggs, it don't look like this.
Right.
Okay, so what the fuck does this have to do with bunny rabbits?
With chocolate and, you know what I'm saying, cream filling.
Them Cadbury's good though. I ain't gonna trip on those.
Just saying. Okay,
but then you got these other people over here. These people crack me up. Right. Ain't nobody fat ass that came down your motherfucking chimney, and that chimney a faux chimney. Like half of us probably grew up in an apartment. What the fuck you mean? Somebody coming down your chimney, giving you some goddamn gifts when it's the same shit you seen in the closet like right before. You hid and looked.
So you saying these holidays is minority-minded thinking?
Okay. I'm not
Christian
saying,
black codes.
Here's where I'm going. Before we do that, just to make sure we got a little truth in this. A lot of those holidays already had energies that go toward us. But yes, I am talking about particularly the people who are still supporting all these ideologies, which are actually kind of keeping you away from and keeping you occupied while other people have other things that they're trying to get accomplished, and they win the whole time. So you complain about all of the things that are happening to you, and it's because you're allowing all these people to continuously, right?
See, you can't even be a more and be a minority. You can't be our self-law master. Can't be the master and then be the minor. You can't even contract. Mm-hmm. So, more for more, this shouldn't even apply. Mm-hmm. This is talking about people who unconscious to me, who don't even know about that the public is legal, that the public is on the record. They don't know that until they get in trouble. Yeah, I think you broke that down pretty much.